Dear viewer, welcome to UCTV Daily Readings and Reflection. Today is the Friday of the 7th week in Ordinary Time, Year 1. Our first reading is from the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 5 to 17. Our psalm is Psalm 119. And our gospel is from the Holy Gospel according to Mark chapter 10, verse 1 to 12. A reading from the book of Sirach. A pleasant voice multiplies friends and softens enemies, and a gracious tongue multiplies courtesies. Let those that are at peace with you be many, but let your advisers be 1 in 1,000. When you gain a friend, gain him through testing, and do not trust him hastily. For there is a friend who is such at his own convenience, but will not stand by you in your day of trouble. And there is a friend who changes into an enemy, and will disclose a quarrel to your disgrace. And there is a friend who is a table companion, but will not stand by you in your day of trouble. In your prosperity, he will make himself your equal, but be bold with your servants. But if you are brought low, he will turn against you, and will hide himself from your presence. Keep yourself far from your enemies, and be on your guard toward your friends. A faithful friend is a sturdy shelter. He that has found one has found a treasure. There is nothing so precious as a faithful friend, and no scales can measure his excellence. A faithful friend is an elixir of life, and those who fear the Lord will find him. Whoever fears the Lord directs his friendship aright. For as he is, so is his neighbor also. The word of the Lord. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Blessed are you, O Lord. Teach me your statutes. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. I take delight in your statutes. I will not forget your word. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Open my eyes that I may see the wonders of your law. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Make me grasp the way of your precepts, and I will ponder your wonders. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Grant me insight that I may keep your law and observe it wholeheartedly. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Guide me in the path of your commands, for in them is my delight. Guide me, Lord, in the path of your commands. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Your word, O Lord, is truth. Sanctify us in the truth. Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. At that time, Jesus went to the region of Judea and beyond the Jordan, and crowds gathered to him again and again, as his custom was. He taught them. And Pharisees came up, and in order to test him, asked, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife?" He answered them, "What did Moses command you?" They said, "Moses allowed a man to write a certificate of divorce and to put her away." But Jesus said to them, "For your hardness of heart, he wrote you this commandment. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder." And in the house, the disciples asked him again about this matter. And he said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another, she commits adultery." The Gospel of the Lord. Dear brothers and sisters, today is a Friday of the 7th week in ordinary time, year C. Pleasant voice multiplies friends. A pleasant speech multiplies friends. The first reading of today gives us a basic criterion for discerning a true friendship. In our lives, we encounter very many friends. We have very many friends, but most of them have different motives. They have different reasons for befriending us. Some may be our friends because we have material things. Maybe others come into our lives to learn good things from us, to learn how to grow spiritually and economically well. Some may be to fulfill their intentions or missions. Dear brothers and sisters, we need to test our friendship. Let us always test and see if our friendship is genuine. We are to trust all people. We are to trust all friends, but to a lesser extent. For God is the only one to trust first. Let us first put our trust in God. When we look at the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 6, verses 12 to 17, we see Jesus choosing the 12 disciples. But before making this choice, he first goes to pray. He goes to the mountain to pray. It is this connection with God that after he went to choose the 12 disciples. First, trusting in God. After, he goes to the friends. Those are the disciples. From there, he went to the multitude, to the crowd. That is when we look at verse 17. So, for a stable friendship comes from the fear of God. We need to have very good words that are pleasing to the people to get these friends. We need to speak very well, words that give hope to the people, words that give joy to the people, so that we may get these friends, the genuine ones. We see a very good example of this in the gospel today, where Jesus goes to the region of Judea and beyond the Jordan. But as he goes to these regions, crowds gather to him. We see crowds gathering to him. What attracts these crowds? It is the pleasant voice, the pleasing speeches Jesus gave. For Jesus' voice was pleasing to the crowds, was comforting, was healing to the crowds, that the crowd never wanted to go away from him. What do we speak to the people? Is what we utter from our mouth pleasing to the people? Does it give honor to the public? In Israel, there were different sects. That is, the Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes. We see even the zealots were there. Today, we look at the Pharisees who come to Jesus asking him a question. These people already knew the law. They had the law. They were following this law, the written law, the Mosaic law. But they come to Jesus to ask him a question. In a way, they are testing him. This comes after they have seen the crowds gathering around Jesus. Maybe they want to ask him such that he may get a side, and they go, and some people may be against this side. What is the question these people ask? Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife? You see, the question, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife? In tackling this question, Jesus refers them again to the Mosaic law. What did Moses command you? They answered him that Moses commanded man to write a letter of divorce and put a woman away. This, they were referring to Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1 to 4, which is also not so encouraging divorce in some way, because there was no remarrying a wife or a woman who had divorced and again goes to divorce from the second husband. But there, Jesus teaches them now the essence of marriage, which is supposed to be between a man and a woman, male and a female, not a man with a man. And it is supposed to be a lifelong commitment, whereby separating one from the other would mean disobeying God. As we have just heard, that what God has put together, no man should separate. No man should put asunder. Dear viewers, let us put our trust in God. Let us have faith in Him. Let us follow His commandments properly, that we may be able to live together in peace and harmony as brothers and sisters, enjoying the gift of life God has given us and utilize it appropriately.